Well, here we go again, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be telling you guys how to become a millionaire. If you want to become a millionaire, sit back, relax, enjoy this entire video, share this video, like this video, all of that good stuff, and sit back, listen. I got you. I'm gonna tell you guys how to do it step by step. Also, I'll be telling you guys what I will be doing because I'm be doing exactly what I'm telling you. So without further ado, let's get into it. First thing you need to do is get a budget. Get you a budget and live lower than you are right now. And that means all that money you spending on different things and stuff like that, you gotta cut that out. Right now, I'm in the process of budgeting my life, getting all that stuff together. So budgeting apps that you need to be getting. You need to get you a budgeting app. And the two that I recommend the most, Mint and Personal Capital. Wonderful apps, man. They work perfectly. Get Mint on Personal Capital. Personal Capital is more for investors, and you can see a lot of your stocks and stuff like that inside. It's perfect for that, man. Way better than Mint for that. But Mint is better at controlling your spending in terms of having that budget and knowing what you're putting your money on, knowing when your bills are due, different things like that. Mint can help with that. That's why I use both. I use both in conjunction, man. One is just not so much better than the other when you need both functionalities in order to have a complete budget. So that's the first thing you need to do. Stop spending all of your money. Stop spending it, man. Start investing it. Or the second thing I'm going to talk about is cutting all of that debt. So having a plan to become debt free. That is the first thing. That's probably more important than just becoming a millionaire. Becoming debt free unlocks that avenue for so much. So much of your money can be tied through interest, all that stuff, man. So becoming debt free is very important. So what debt should you tackle first? Tackle whatever debt has the highest interest rate. I have student loans at about a 4.5, and that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, of course, we're not paying student loans right now. We're not paying student loans, so that's okay. But we all know that they're supposed to be cutting those, so I do have a plan. I'm gonna show you guys my plan for the student loans here in a second. I'm gonna grab my tablet. But let me talk to you for a second. Make sure you cut your debt. Pay that first before you do anything else. And the way you can do that faster is start cutting some of the stuff that you're spending that you don't even really need. Some subscription services that you have that you don't really use a lot. Cut those. Cut a lot of the stuff that you're doing. And the way that you're going to know what to cut is by managing that budget. That budget that I was talking about. Even if it's an extra $10 on a loan, credit, if you got credit card debt, whether you got a huge car loan with a bad interest rate that you shouldn't have got in the first place, or only thing that you shouldn't be worried about right now, if you have a home, if you have a mortgage, and you should have probably refinanced that already. I heard people are refinancing for crazy lows right now, even though they're starting to go up. So if you have not refinanced and you have the opportunity to, you might want to look into doing that. But that's what you need to be doing, man. Getting that debt done, getting it out of here. So let me pull the tablet out and I'll tell you guys exactly my plan for my student loans. If you want to follow a similar plan to this, then you can. So if I'm looking at my student loans, the best case scenario is that Joe Biden cuts about 10K. I think that's the best. He said he's not going anywhere close to higher than that. So it's going to be about 10K. And I'm looking at this thing, so it looks like 10K. I have about $22,600 in student loans at a 4.5% interest rate. So if you take that number, I have $7,000 ready right now to put on them student loans. So let's say best case scenario, if you take 10K off of the 22.6, you have 12.6. And you take 7 off of that, you have $5,600. That's going to be a breeze to eliminate because my payment right now is $265. I'm gonna put an extra $500 payment on that because I'm gonna start cutting stuff, which I already have, and I'm continually to building up a savings account that I'm just waiting to drop on these student loans. I give you an update on my student loans whenever Joe Biden decides he wants to cut that off. But I do have a worst case scenario. I'm gonna save that for a little bit later. But I'm putting an extra $500 on that, so I will have my student loans paid off. If you take the 500 plus the 265, I'll have my student loans paid off in about 7 months from when I start doing that. 7 months, man. Best case scenario. Joe, come on in, bro. Go ahead and knock them out. But let's say Joe does not come through. I still have this full 2000. I wish it was 2000. 22.6. Just to say I have that full 22. So 7,000 off of that is 15.6, and then the $265 with the extra payment of $500, and then that means it'll take me 21 months to pay off the payment. That's about a year and 9 months because I already have the $7,000 ready to pounce on these student loans. I'm gonna knock these student loans out very quickly. Very quickly, as soon as I know what direction it's going to be going in. And I haven't put any kind of money into my student loans yet. I've just been saving, waiting until, you know, the freeze, I think it ends in September. I am going to put that 7,000 on it before September, of course. But I want to see where the loans are going to go. So I gave you 1 and 2. Number 1 was to get a budget. Number 2 was to decide on what debts you need to be taken off. Eliminate all of your debt. Eliminate. That should be the number 1 thing. Eliminate that debt. Eliminate it. So you need to decide what you have that you can eliminate other than your home mortgage. Let's go to number 3. This is where it starts getting interesting. You want to try your best to have multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. I have 2 right now. I have my YouTube channel, not this YouTube channel. I have a gaming YouTube channel that brings in probably about $120 a month. Not a lot of money, but it's another stream of income. And I have, I have my regular career. I have my regular job. So other side hustles, man. I'm looking into other side hustles that I can get into. I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna be yet, but I will be doing videos on those. I would, if I stay in a more populated area, I wish I could do DoorDash. I would love to do DoorDash. So if you're in an area where you could just do DoorDash on the weekends or something like that, Uber Eats or whatever, that would be a great side hustle to have, make a couple of dollars on the side, and then you can invest that money. We're gonna talk about investing here soon because that's the main key. That's the main key. But try your best to find side hustles in order to get that extra income. And then I bet you're thinking to yourself, well, look, Dave, look, if I had all that, I'll be a millionaire already. No, listen, steps to this. There's other things you can do if you cannot find a side hustle. Look around your house. If you have anything old that you don't use anymore, eBay, sell it. Sell that old stuff you have in your house, man. You need to clean shop. Sell that stuff. If you got old clothes, old hats, just sell that stuff. I know you got old things laying around the house that you do not use anymore. Sell it. Sell it. Get rid of it. It needs to be gone. Anything that you have that you don't use anymore, it needs to be gone. It has no use for you. You have no use for it. So get rid of it. That's one thing you can do to make some extra money in order to invest. And like I said, we're going to talk about investing here. But there's one thing you want to do before you invest, and that is build an emergency fund. And you probably thinking to yourself this as well, how does that, correlate with my journey onto becoming a millionaire? Look, on the journey to becoming a millionaire, you must make sure you have every single checklist checked off in terms of life. And an emergency fund, in order to have cash available, is very important so it doesn't cut into the money that you're using to become a millionaire. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important to have an emergency fund, and the key is they always say 3 to 6 months of your income, how much you spend, your spending expenses. You need about 3 to 6 months of that. So let me tell you what I'm doing, so if you want to incorporate this into your life. So what I am doing, I take about $50 off my paycheck every single 2 weeks, and I put it into a savings account. And that's what I'm doing. You can do more, you can do less, but it's a commitment. You need to make a commitment right now. How much money out of your paycheck are you going to put into a savings account? It need to be some. You should not have your entire check readily available to spend. You should not have that. If you have your entire check ready to spend and you're not putting it into something that is of savings, I don't care if you never invest in the stock market. I don't care if you never have a journey to become millionaire. You should not have your entire check readily available unless you're living paycheck. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, then that's different. And that's where you need to be having that other source of income and looking into making your side hustle your main hustle, okay? But before that, if you're not in that situation, and you're like me, I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not at the bottom, but I definitely don't have a lot of money. So that's where that comes in at. That's where that comes in at. So make sure that you're committing some kind of money into a savings account or normal savings account, low risk. You don't have to worry about it going anywhere. Even though inflation is crazy, your dollar is going to be worth 2 cents at some point in time, okay? But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're not going to talk about inflation. So build an emergency fund up. Right now I have about $18K in the emergency fund. And that's from just putting $50 in so $100 a month into an account. And it's been about 18 months. And so I haven't, thank good Lord, I have not had an emergency, okay? So do it. If you're young too, keep $100 a month. It's not much. It's not much, but I have this cash. If I need it right now, I can go get this cash and I can do whatever I want to with the cash, okay? So let's go to number 5. Number 5. And this is where the growth and stuff like that comes in and all the steps make sense, okay? Invest in ETFs, dividend, and growth stocks. You want to do all three. You want to do all three. And the conservative method for this, have most of your money in ETFs, have another section of your money in dividends, and then have another section in growth stocks if you're younger. Because you can take the risk of growth stocks. Dividend stocks is going to give you passive income. So that's another source of income you added, right? That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You want to have all three. People like to preach one or the other. Having all three is very, very important. The ETFs are important because they diversify you. They diversify you a lot. The dividends, self-explanatory. If you don't know what dividend stocks are basically stocks that pay you for owning them. So Coca-Cola is one that I'm looking to get into. I'm just waiting on it to drop a little bit. I believe it's a little bit too high. It's around 50 right now. I think it's going to pull back to around that 45, 43 range at some point in time. If it doesn't, I guess I had to bite the bullet. I really want to get into Coke, but I'm not. I'm going to get into Coke. Not that kind, but I really want to get into Coca-Cola whenever I can. I'm just waiting. I'm being very patient right now. But if you own a stock of Coca-Cola, a certain percentage they pay out to the shareholders, right? And then that money is given to you to do whatever you want with it, okay? And you basically, if you have so many dividend stocks in your portfolio, you could be getting paid and living off of your dividends. But if you're in a certain age range, and I keep saying this because age is important. Age determines how much risk you can have. If you're young, you can do a lot more riskier things. If you're older, you might want to stay away from growth stocks and go straight into dividends. If you're younger like me, I'm gonna have a lot of growth stocks. I'm gonna have a good mixture of both growth and dividend stocks. Because I love the dividend stocks because you kind of wait until they get to a happy medium and then you buy in and you drip. It's a lot of different things I can say about dividends and growth and stuff. I'm not going to get too deep in this video because I can go on for a long time because I'm very, very interested in this stuff and I'm learning more and more as time goes on. So I'm hoping that you guys subscribe and you can teach me things and then we can kind of learn together and I'll teach you some things. It'll be amazing. So I'm looking for people in order to grow with. But let's get on back into the video. I went on a rant there, my bad. But like I said, you want to go ETFs, dividends, and growth stocks because the dividends will pay out for every share you hold. And some shares pay out monthly, some shares. Some stocks pay out monthly, some pay annually, some pay quarterly. It just depends. You have to do your research and see what company does what. And then growth stocks. You know, you have your Microsofts, you have your Amazons, and you have your Teslas, man. These are stocks that may pay a small dividend, not much to be really considered a dividend stock. Like some different stocks pay. Like Apple, I consider Apple a growth dividend stock. I think that dividend out, I'm not sure where it's at right now, maybe at like 1.2 or something, or it might be lower than that, 0.9. It's somewhere around that range. I forget, I can't name it off the top of my head, but I call them a growth dividend stock because they have a dividend that's okay, not great, but I feel like they're gonna grow huge in the coming years, man. I'm going all in on Apple as soon as I get some money on my budget. But anyway, like I said, man, y'all want me to go deeper into the differences between ETF, growth stock, and stuff like that, just let me know down in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all already know. But that's what you should be doing, man. Investing into all three of those, though. All three. Even if you're older, if you have one or two, maybe three companies that you really believe in, there's nothing wrong with putting some money to some growth stocks. But ETF's going to be your best friend because they're the safest play. And if from safest to least safe, from ETFs, and then you have your dividends, and then you have your growth. So that is so much more complicated than that, but I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So you want to invest. I'm going to show you guys my plan for investing a little bit later on. Number 6 on the step that I'm going to be doing, man. Number six. I'm going to be investing my side hustle money into ETFs. And it's not going to be growth stocks. It's not going to be dividend stocks. I'm going to invest all of my 50% of my side hustle money into ETFs. I'll be using the other 50% in order to improve my side hustle. My main side hustle right now is YouTube. I only get $120 a month, but I'm hoping later on in the future I'll be getting $200. I can do half. But for this video, we're going to say that I'm only going to be making $120 a month, hopefully consistently throughout this time of becoming a millionaire. Up and down a little bit, but $50 every single month into ETFs. So I did the math already. I'm gonna tell you guys the math. This is a conservative method. So if you think about it, Fidelity has zero expense ETFs. Those are the ones that I'm gonna be using. Right now I have about $700 into those ETFs. It's for those, and I just do it equally each time. And so let's just say the market average is around 7%. You're gonna get a 7% increase on your money. That's higher than any savings account is gonna give you, and that is hopefully gonna beat this inflation we're gonna get soon, because it's gonna be crazy. I believe inflation is coming. It happens every year, but it's gonna be ridiculous this time. I think. But 7%, you're gonna get a 7% return on your money. So I have 700 locked in right now. I'm gonna tell you my rate of return. I have 700 right now with 50 every month for about 2 years. Right? I'm gonna do that for about 2 years. And the reason the 2-year max is my set point is because the student loans, worst case scenario, is gonna take me about 1 year and 9 months to pay off. So I just say 2. Let's just say 2 years to pay off. So that's roughly about $2K. With the 700 plus 50, and I'm putting $50 in every month, that 700 is eventually going to grow into about $2,000 in 2 years. So we turn 700 into 2,000, right? So if you look at that, the market average, like I said, is around 7% return on your money. Now sometimes it'll be a little bit more. One year I might get a 10%, but we're just gonna keep it at the averages right now. We're gonna have a 7% return on the money. So at this point, 2 years from now, it's going to be like 2023, right? I will have about $2,000 in the stock market. Now, I will tell you this. I have some money in the stock market right now, but when the student loan thing, the news comes out and everything's official, I'm taking that money out and I'm putting all that money on student loans. It's about $2,000, but I put that $2,000 in my $7,000 that I talked about already. Okay. I'm putting all that money. I'm knocking out those two. That's a goal of mine. I'm knocking it out. So I have about $2,000 in the stock market around this time, and I probably will be investing a little bit of money here and there on stocks, but I did not include that in this presentation that I have on my tablet. I'm gonna put this entire thing in the description below so you can see an overview of this video. But I have about $2,000 in my safe conservative portfolio. I'll probably, if my side hustle do good like I want it to, I will have another portfolio which I will talk about later on. So you guys stay tuned, man. Subscribe if you're listening right now. You haven't subscribed already. Subscribe so you can stay tuned with the journey. But I'm gonna have 2K right there. So we're gonna take that free money that I was using. Remember, I was paying about $500 extra, right, on my student loans. We're gonna take that $500 and put it in the stock market. All right, so the year is 2023. I'll be about 27. My student loans we paid off, so the journey is going pretty well. I have side hustles that are kicking up, but I won't include the side hustles into this money right here. The side hustles are important because they will allow me to do this without having to worry. But that is why this is the conservative method. That's why this is the conservative method. Because I'm not putting this in a 401k, I'm not putting this into a IRA. I can take this money out whenever I want. Now, you will be taxed in certain realms. It's lower taxes in terms of if you keep this in the long term. Short term capital gains taxes are, and capital gains is just how much you gain off of the stock or whatever. But to keep it, you know, dumbed down, short term stocks, like if you take it out early within a year, it's just going to be taxed upon your tax bracket. So whatever tax bracket you're in right now, that's how it's going to be taxed, that money that you made. But I'm not going to get into all of those details in this video. But like I said, year is 2023, 27 years old. How much money do I need in order to become a millionaire? Like I said, I'll drop the link down in the description below of the calculator that I use in order to calculate this. So I need about $750 saved every single month in the stock market in order to hit $1 million by 59.5. You might be asking, where did 59.5 come from? That is the retirement age. Okay, that's the age for retirement. I'm gonna have videos on how to retire early as well, because I plan on doing the same thing. Like I said, this is the baseline. Let's just say I'm not able to do the things that I want to do. The side hustle is not panning out the way that I want it to. This is the things that I can do if it does not work out that way. So, but I plan on it working out that way. I'm just throwing it out there. But 59.5, $750 a month at an average of a 7% return. Some years you might get a little bit more than 7. Some years you might get a little bit less. But on average, you're going to get a 7% return from the market. That's what the market has been doing over the years. So that's how much I need. You need to be looking up how much you need to be saving. And that's where all of these tips come in at. Getting your budget right. Making sure you have all your debt paid off, because I was putting an extra $500 in on my student loan. So I'm going to take that $500 on top of that $50 that I was putting in anyway. And I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put it in the stock market as well. So now we have $550 plus $265 that was tied up. That money was tied up in my student loans. I'm going to take $200 of that and put it in the stock market. So that's my $750 right there. $750 all the way up until I'm 59.5, and that is my conservative baseline journey on to becoming a millionaire. So I want to know what you guys need to do in order to become a millionaire. Those are the steps that I'm taking, and I'm going to take you along the ride, take you along the journey. But I do want to share these couple of things with you. Some things that will help you speed this process up so you won't be 59.5 in order to do this. So first thing, man, you got the wild cards here, man, your side hustle. If your side hustle is producing even more cash, you need to be putting more cash in the market so you can get this done sooner. That's why the side hustles are important. And sometimes you can turn your side hustle into your main hustle, and that money is just going to continue to grow and grow. Early investments are the key to early retirement, man. That's why we were not taught in school, man. And it's not the school's fault. It's just, I went to a public school. This is what they had to teach. This is what they had to teach. Okay, so I'm not even going to put them down like that. All I'm saying is, They need to put this into schools everywhere, man. Learning about the stock market, learning to invest early. I wish I would have known a lot of this stuff sooner. Now that I know, I'm getting it done. I wish I would have known that I should have been paying my student loans off even sooner, you know. But anyways, that's the wild card right there. Also, the growth of your growth stocks and your dividends. Your dividends are going to grow. I did not account for dividends in this scenario in terms of the calculator. But your dividends are going to grow because you are investing in dividends along the way. You are investing in growth stocks along the way. Your growth stocks early may skyrocket. Your dividend stocks early may skyrocket. You know what I'm saying? But investing that money in the stock market, investing it smart. Like I said, having those ETFs, having those dividend stocks, and having those growth stocks are very, very important. And I'm going to be showing you guys along the way what stocks I'm investing into, what, you know, ETFs I have. Like, I think the Fidelity ones are going to be the main ones I have right now because I want to do more individual dividends and more individual growth stocks. But right now, those zero cost ETFs, I mean, the zero cost, zero expense, you might as well put some money in those, especially if you want to be very, very conservative. But like I said, we're young. We're not going to be that conservative, but we're still going to have a little bit on the back burner. So those are the wild cards, man. That growth can be crazy from those, and the dividends are going to be coming in, and you're going to be reinvesting those dividends. So I did not account for that. So that probably will help you retire even earlier than 59. Then it's going to bring that number on down. But I want to throw in some wild cards that may happen that may slow down your progress. So wild cards that might slow down progress. Car and house for me. Let me explain the car and house part for me personally. The car that I have right now, I don't know how long it's going to last. I love that thing. I have a Honda 99 Accord outside. Don't plan on getting a new car anytime soon, man. I've been trying to get a new car and it just wasn't working. And I knew it was a reason why it wasn't working. Everything happens for a reason. I don't need a new car, okay? I don't want a car payment. I don't want to do that. And I have some money just laid off to the side that is just in case I need a car money, because you got to get back and forth to your normal job. You got to get back and forth to the job, okay? So I have money set aside just in case that happens. So I am prepared for that. Now, house is very important. I'm going to be saving up for a house, or like a down payment on a house. Now, I will say there's a lot of ways around down payments and stuff for houses and stuff that I've been seeing a lot of people do. Not going to talk about those in this video, but those are two things that can, you know, and then you just have certain things happen in life. Life happens, okay? And then so your journey might be set back a couple years. But never give up the grind for the journey. I know I'm talking a crazy amount of time in the future. But for normal people, having $500,000 is almost enough to retire if you're just by yourself. $500,000. If you play your cards right, you can flip that, have dividends from that, and that's all. That will almost be enough to retire right there if you're, you know, by yourself. It just depends. And then your family, you have kids and stuff. Those are other things you have to factor in to your retirement or your journey to becoming a millionaire. There's a lot of things to consider, but that's why having multiple streams of income is very important. Having a budget is very important. The steps to get to the investment part are very important, man. Remember those steps, man. But I'm gonna take you along the way in my journey. I'm very excited to be a part of your journey, man. Comment down below in the comment section. How close are you to your millionaire goal? If you're already a millionaire, I want to know how long it took you to get there. Did it take 2 days? Did it take 2 years? Did it take 20, 30, 40? You know, I would like to know these things. I want people here who want to grow with me, people who want to come along this ride, come along the journey and stuff like that. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be exciting. So I would love to hear your stories down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, continue to grind, continue to shine, and don't give up the journey. I'll see you in the next one.